Alright guys, so we're going to review the models about vision and light. So we have Model 1, Model 2, and Model 3. It says, analyze each stimuli as example below. Write about each model and how it is incorrect or incomplete and how it could be improved. So let's look at Model 1. How is this model incorrect or incomplete? Well, I know from what we've learned that this model is incorrect because we have light coming down from the source and it's hitting the prey, but it's not bouncing into the predator's eye. So should the predator be able to see the prey? No. So we need to say that this model is incorrect because the predator should not be able to see the prey since the light is not reflecting back into the predator's eye. So I know we don't have enough room, but how could we correct this model? Where would the light need to travel? Well, the light would need to come down from the source and then it would need to travel straight into the eye. So if you want to draw a line with an arrow so that you can see that it doesn't need to go this way, it needs to go to the eye. Alright, let's look at Model 2. Okay, Model 2, Model 2. So here it has the light source shining into the predator's eye and then to the prey, and it's showing that the predator is able to see the prey. Well, is that correct? No. So this model is incorrect because the predator should not be able to see the prey. And why? Because the light is shining directly into the eye. Think about if you had a flashlight shining directly into your eye, are you able to see much? No. All you see is bright light. So that's what the predator is seeing. So it would not be able to see the prey at the bottom. This model is incorrect because the predator should not be able to see the prey since the light is traveling directly into its eye, period. So let's talk about how we could improve it. So where would our light have to travel? Well, instead of traveling from the source to the eye, our light would have to travel from the source down to our prey, and then from our prey, then to the eye. Okay, so this model is really wrong. It's got the path of light going the completely opposite direction. Alright, and our last model, Model 3. Is Model 3 correct or incorrect? Well, Model 3 is correct so far, but it's incomplete. So, this model is incomplete because it only has the light traveling from the source to the prey, so the predator should not be able to see it. So how can we correct Model 3? Well, all we have to do is we know that the light shines down from the source onto the prey. It reflects off the prey and goes into the eye. So all we had to do was draw this extra arrow to prove that the predator could see the prey. Alright, flip to your last part. Alright, so we have a diagram. We can see that there's a sun, there's a flower, there's a human, and he can see the flower. So it says complete the diagram below so that the man can see the flower. Then write about how the light is allowing the man to see. So the very first thing for anything to see something is the light has to come from a source. Well, our source here is the sun. Where is the light going to travel to if we're trying to get the man to see the flower? Well, the light has to travel in a straight line to the flower. So we're going to draw an arrow from the sun to the flower. From the flower, the light has to do what? It has to reflect off the flower and go into the eye. Then that light is able to carry the information about the flower to the eye, which is then able to see it. So we're going to write that in our 4 steps. So our first step, the light travels in a straight line from the source period to the light shines on the object, or we'll say on the flower. So on the flower, and reflects off of the flower. After it reflects off, it travels to the eye. So 3, the light travels in a straight line to the eye. And lastly, the light also has to carry that information. So 4, the light carries information about the flower to the eye for the human to see. So those are the only 4 steps of how light travels. Comes from a source, shines on the object, reflects off the object into the eye, and it also carries the information about the object so that the human can see. And those are your expected 4 steps on your test. This type of question is also in your study guide, so you can use this to help. Alright guys, go ahead and get started on your test review. If you're finished with that, move on to early finisher.